but they're scripting the book of Revelation to bring about Armageddon and the end of the world. They're doing it intentionally.
Who is they?
I don't know who they are. I think they're Satanists. I think they're people that worship the dark force, that don't care for humanity and human life. And in fact, they're the total opposite of, they worship the devil.
So there's been a very, very interesting report released by an organization called the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, which, as its name suggests, monitors the separation of church and state and attacks on it within the military. And it has had scores of complaints since this conflict began. One combat unit commander told the Federation that the foundation that non-commissioned officers at a briefing on Monday said that the Iran war is part of God's plan and that President Donald Trump was anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran to cause Armageddon and return his and mark his return to Earth. And they've received scores of complaints from all over the military over the last several days that similar messages are being delivered. And take a listen to what Pete Hegseth said when he was asked on Monday what his prayer is for the troops.
First of all, my prayer for them is that I do pray for them. My wife prays for them. Our family prays for them. Our cabinet prays for them. None of this is done on a whim. Having been in their boots, having been in their shoes, having been in their flight suits, I know we think about them with every decision that we make and every recommendation that we make to the President of the United States. Those recommendations are made prayerfully. And when I pray every day for them and for this mission, I pray simply for the biblical wisdom to see what is right and the courage to do it.
We're already seeing attacks on civilian infrastructure, hospitals. In the future, you'll see attacks on water supply, on dams, on reservoirs,
just like Gaza,
power plants. The idea is to make Iran so inhabitable that the people will have to rebel against the people, or there'll be a refugee crisis in Iran. Okay? So as you can see from this map, this war, it is the end of the world. Okay? Both sides have the potential to destroy each other. It's really a question of how far do they want to go. All right? We can also say this is almost a game of chicken. Okay? We can blow each other up. How far do you want to go? And the problem is this. The problem is that the Iranians are Shia.
Here we go.
Which believes in martyrdom. And you've killed the religious leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei. So they're willing to go very, very far. The GCC countries are Muslim, but they're materialistic. They love money. And also, most of the population is patriots, foreigners. 90% of Dubai are foreigners. Guess what's going to happen if they suffer? They're all going to run away. Okay? So this is not a fair matchup.
The Israeli military said it detected missiles launched from Iran, with defense systems working to intercept it.
Oh my God, oh my God. Himale. Oh my God. Yo, אני בהלם. Oh my God.
Angie, there's been plenty of talk Iran was using these controversial types of warheads, and last night we saw it in action on multiple videos flying across the skies towards central Israel. These cluster bombs, they break up and scatter upon descent, releasing around 20 or so smaller munitions that fall widely and indiscriminately, making it near impossible for the Iron Dome defences to lock on and intercept. Last night it caused fire and damage to residential homes, these bombs posing a greater risk to civilians. There are questions about how Iran obtained this technology. There are the suggestions it may have come from Russia or China.
Harris, good morning. We're learning some new details from the Israelis about a strike overnight that involved 50 fighter jets and 100 munitions targeting the bunker of Iran's former supreme leader. A senior Israeli official telling Fox News these strikes overnight went after the underground bunker that the Iranians spent years building. But they say whenever the Ayatollah was killed over the weekend, he didn't make it to the bunker. He was above ground. This is new information, but you see the power of these strikes here as they drop more than 100 munitions on this location to ensure the Iranians aren't able to use these facilities in the future. It comes as Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is holding a new security assessment today with his top leadership here as the Israelis enter into the second phase of this war against Iran and its proxies. Overnight, the Iranians launching new ballistic missiles into Israel using a cluster munition to try and rain debris down on the population below. We saw as some of those missiles overshot their targets, slamming into the Mediterranean Sea. And the Israelis going after these launching positions, they say they destroyed another 6 ballistic missile launchers.
Now, it's not the first time that Iran has used this weapon in this conflict. The Israelis have said that they've been on the receiving end of this several times so far since the war started last weekend. It is a cluster munition. Of course, cluster munitions are banned under an international treaty, but only if the countries themselves are signed up to that convention, and neither Israel nor Iran have actually signed up to that cluster munition convention.
As far away as Cyprus, Iran triggers air raid sirens at a Royal Air Force base as the Brits send in reinforcements. Here, the RAF obliterating a drone over Jordan, but on the ground, fleeing Iranians are defiant.
They cannot defeat Iran.
On Iranian TV, a senior cleric calls for President Trump's blood.
NBC Nightly News.
On US TV, Iran's foreign minister.
We are not asking for a ceasefire.
Are you afraid of a U.S. invasion in your country?
No, we are waiting for them.
We're destroying more of Iran's missiles and drone capability every single hour. Their navy is gone. Other than that, they're doing quite well.
We are built for this fight, and we are in it to win it.
The Americans convinced Iran is running out of firepower.
What else do you know? I just, I think we're living in the worst possible times right now. That if we don't make some changes, there's going to be some major disasters about to happen, and it's man-made. It's not solar flare. It's not any of that. It's a dark force. Because she told me, well, I'll tell you what she told me. This is what I put in writing, part of it. She said, there are people in power. I put this in writing in 2012. She said, there are people in power. And I'm not going to say where she focused my thoughts on that, but they're script in the book of Revelation to bring about Armageddon and the end of the world. They're doing it intentionally, and that's what she told me. And that's the very thing the main meat of the whole message I sent to these generals. So it makes sense, right?
Who is they?
I don't know who they are. I think they're Satanists. I think they're people that worship the dark force, that don't care for humanity and human life. And in fact, they're the total opposite of, they worship the devil. Or I don't know if there is a devil. I think it's a very dark force that is living full of dark entities that feed on you parasitically, like they'd be non-physical. They shape shift. They take your mind over. They make you do crazy things. They deceive you, make you kill somebody, go crazy. Where the angelic world are the physical beings. They can come in here and light. These beings are made of light. The dark force is a parasitic race, and whoever's aligned with that is, according to the mother, the lady, is scripting the book of Revelation. They don't want it to happen.
Why did they want it to happen?
I think it's the dark force. I think that they want to snuff out God. They don't want us to have God in our heart. Why do you think they did evolution? That's the biggest, dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. That every living thing come from a mud puddle, and it can't happen. It's just not possible. It's a laugh. It's a joke.